What's up, all? Wardrobe here with Jeff from Hex2Hex.
Hi.
Jeff is going to patiently, or not, walk me through OCS, the Blitzkrieg Legend, the Eris scenario. So it's only half a turn. It's only the allied turn. So it really shouldn't take me that long. It really shouldn't be that difficult. But Jeff's going to be like going, okay, Todd, open the rule book to page 1. It's called OCS. Anyway, no, we're not going to go that deep.
And we can mess this up together.
That's right. We'll mess it up together. He's actually playing an OCS, his play by email game of Case Blue. So he'll be working through his stuff. Just, I don't know if he'll show us anything. Probably won't show us anything, but he'll be doing that while I'm doing this, and I'll be asking questions. He probably won't get much Case Blue done because I'll be saying like every move. Do I move this hex here? He'll be like, oh my gosh, just do it. Anyway, that's a long introduction. We'll see you back. I'm going to change the camera to the board, and we'll get going here and get off our ugly mugs. I'm sorry, my ugly mug, Jeff's beautiful mug. Here we go. There we are. There's our beautiful screens. Let's get on the map here so we can just look at this beautiful little beef. It's one of the rare times in OCS that you can see the whole map in one camera shot. I won't have to move the camera, but to maybe get a better view. Does it look focused to you, Jeff?
It looks focused. What's this game called again?
I don't remember. I think it's called Advanced Squad Leader.
Oh, I'm out. I can't play that game.
Got to take off the robe. It's cold here today in old St. Louis. It got down to like 40, and it was like 48 most of the day.
Yep, same here. It's been. I just went for a walk with my neighbor a minute ago. It's cool. It's not cold yet, but it's going to rain like crazy.
It felt like winter out there a little bit, actually. It's kind of crazy, but anyway, that happens. All right, everybody. So this is OCS, the Operational Combat Series. I have only played little parts of the Blitzkrieg Legend at a small con I was at a couple of weeks ago. Actually, a week ago. Kind of hard to believe it was a week ago. But and I've wanted to play it for a little bit. I mean, so I'm going to mainly focus my games on the West Front. I'm not a huge East Front guy, and I prefer my East Front games to be a little easier. So like I played Rostov, Kiev, Rostov, which Jeff also did. He just wrapped that up. I don't know when I'll show this video. If I do, but go check out Jeff's videos on Kiev, not Kiev, Rostov, I'm sorry, Rostov 41, which is SCS. So that's kind of more my speed, SCS, the Simonich games, that sort of thing. But I am interested in West Front, so I got this, Sicily, which is kind of Mediterranean, whatever. And then I might get Beyond the Rhine or their new Normandy one coming out, but we'll see how this goes. This Eris scenario is really... I mean, I don't know if it's a good intro scenario, but it's good because of the size. It's only this small little map size, about the size of my hand when I got tiny little baby hands. So, and it's only the allied turn. So basically it's the counterattack at Eris. And I just read that they kind of beefed up the allied equipment that's in here just to kind of make it more interesting. But it kind of gets the point across. And it's really to learn. I've got a calculator. All right. So I can do my little maths. And really it's just to teach you kind of a whole turn phase, movement, combat, reaction phase, that sort of thing. You start out with there's no supply, you don't get new supply. You don't get any reinforcements or replacements or anything like that.
You need to download this.
What's that? Hold on. I can't see your screen here. I do have that. That's what I'm looking at right now.
That's the one I use. It's the best one I can find.
And there is another one. The guy that I played with, and he couldn't remember where he got it, so it's a hard copy. But it was a really good, like very detailed, multi-page.
Yeah, that's a good. It's too much for me to read, so I use this one.
Do you know where to find that? Because he didn't know where, and I couldn't find it when I came back and looked.
I want to say there were 3 different ones on BGG, or was it OCS Depot?
It was, well, at least I didn't see it on OCS Depot.
It must have been BGG.
It might be under a specific game or module.
Right.
because I just looked under Blitzkrieg Legend and then just kind of overall OCS. So I might look around for that. But I think it would be nice for me. I don't know if I'd play with it, but at least have it to kind of read through because it's a real nice summary. It's anyway. So, but the thing that Jeff showed is nice. This is one you can find. It came out of Operational Matters, but you can find it now in PDF or whatever version on MMP Gamers or OCS Depot. It just kind of goes through all this stuff. So I already went through the aircraft refit. That nothing need to happen there. And I understand what that means. Basically, you're moving stuff from the inactive box to the active box on the air holding. You're moving the aircraft from the bottom, at least this is how this guy did it, from the bottom of the airfield to the top. Do you have to pay for that?
Yep, you have to pay. So
you have to pay for the bases, not for the boxes.
Okay, so your airfields can refit their number +1.
Yeah, so let's look at that just so we make sure I understand. I think I do understand.
And
it's not times 2. So this one here says 1.
Yeah, and I will validate that real quick while you do that.
All right, so basically what happens is that after you fly a plane, you put it underneath the airbase.
Here we go. So pay 1T per base. Refit up to 2 air units per airbase level, 1 level per airbase level, 1 for airstrips. An air unit cannot refit in I'm sorry, you can't refit more than 1. You can refit up to the number. Up to 2 air units per airbase level. So if you have a airbase of 1, you can refit 2 units, right? Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so yeah, we went kind of back and forth there. So if it's 1, in this case, you can do 2.
2, and it costs you 1T per base.
And so, Jeff, did that say 2 times the number or 1 plus the number?
It just says up to 2 air units per airbase level.
Oh, okay. So it's 2 times. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You got it right first time. Okay.
Yep. Cool. Okay. I think the way I didn't see anything in the reading. I'm guessing all the aircraft are refit already at the beginning. It did not say either way. So I was assuming that they were, I don't know if that's a safe assumption or not.
Right. Most cases are. So.
I don't think it matters that much. And this is all about learning. So I don't think that's a technicality that matters. I don't think so. Basically, and I guess I should go over victory conditions. Supply for the allies comes from the trains. So here, 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 and that's pretty much it from the north. These 3 train hexes. And the supply for the Germans comes from this hex here. So then you're trying to cut off this 41st, I don't know if it's a division or corps from supply, and this Cambria Air Base from supply. So to me, how I envisioned it, Jeff, is I kind of need to get some units here and here to cut off this supply,
Because the Germans only have the 1 supply.
That's their supply sources right here.
Right, okay.
And then, of course, you get a quarter victory point for every unit lost.
So that you like a bypass operation.
So, of course, if you take over or defeat the unit too, that'd be a victory as well. But really, you're trying to cut off this way because you're trying to cut them off here, so dampen their movement forward. If this was the bigger picture. And I think I got those victory conditions right. Let me look one more time to make sure. The Allies get 1 victory point for each of the following German units that is either destroyed, captured, or not in trace supply. Oh, I'm sorry. So I can choose to destroy them. That's kind of cool. There's kind of 3 different things you can go for, or 2 different things: destroyed or captured, or not in trace supply at game's end. 41st Kleist Corps headquarters and the airbase at Cambria. What's interesting, just side note, Jeff, I'm listening to the book Where the Iron Crosses Grow by Forsnick.
Right.
And he was talking about Kleist over on these front.
Oh.
So that is an interesting thing about playing these games where they name the units and stuff, and you start to see them, especially the Germans, right? You see them in multiple battles. Like you'll see stuff, Germans at the beginning of the war, and then you see them at D-Day, and then you see them in Markengarten. It's just like, man, they fought over a huge area.
They pretty much, when they got done here, they yanked everything to the East Front, didn't they?
I would think so.
Or Italy. So
Yeah, I mean, can you? I can't imagine. I mean, say what? Anyway, being just a grunt in the German army, holy cow, man, you were all, and it was scary. And you didn't want to go to the East Front.
How, if it's only the Allies game on this, how are you going to do the German trace supply if there's no, because there's
Well,
I'm
guessing. I think you probably, it helps. You know, you just know that when it comes, if they're just not in trace supply, so you learn, okay, what is trace supply? Well, I mean, there's some other stuff that would happen before that, but right now they're not in trace supply. That's how I saw that.
right.
And well, obviously supply is a huge part of this game, which is a part I don't really even have a real good grasp of at all. But I mean, I guess we should understand what trace supply is. So from here, isn't it just the 5 movement points?
Yeah, to a source or to something leading to a source.
Right. And it's only 2. You don't have to, it's actually 6, right? Because you only have to get right next to them.
You can drop, right?
So what this is, Jeff, is a, there's an extender of 20 truck MPs, which I have not even, I kind of skimmed about the extenders. So we'll have to learn about that. So there's extenders, there's 2 SP here, or 2, I'm sorry. Yeah, 2 SP. I don't think that, well, that'll matter if I do any flights or react, I guess, right? Or combat.
The supply point, yeah, you won't use them until movement or combat, right?
Anyway, so there's an extender here, and then a 39th HQ, and then there's an SST artillery, mobile artillery.
Right. So everything from the start is within range of one of those.
So it is within, and trace just be hexes, roads, rails, doesn't matter, right? Just movement points. And as far as I know, the weather, I think this is probably just, I mean, the roads are probably, what's on the back here? Sorry. Roads are, in this case, secondary road, tracks, railroad. Oh, so that's a secondary road? Oh, that's funny. There's only secondary roads and tracks and railroads. So it is half. So they're 1, 1.5, 2.5, 3. They're 3.5 away, or 2.5 away from that one, and 1, 2, 3 away from that one. So they're plenty close there. So to cut that trace supply, now do zones of control block trace supply? I think they do, right?
Yeah, unless it's let's see, an enemy zone of control when any type of supply source hex prevents trace supply from being obtained.
Okay. And does a friendly unit counteract that?
But these can be negated.
Okay. All right. So really, the British or French only need to get to this row here, and they can cut off the trace supply unless there's some other weird way to get around. But so my thinking is move, but then the British, I mean, the Allies have to also keep their options blocked too, to reaction. So they kind of, they can't just all flood over here. So they'll have to have a couple units here and there to kind of block them out. But I was thinking just flood this little zone here and try to defeat these 3 units here. And my first goal is to block off trace supply without trying to, not even worried about attacking these guys.
Yeah, it doesn't look to me like you're going to have to attack a bunch of stuff. But you've got what, 1, 2, 3, you got 3 motorized divisions. You got the British 50th.
50th.
You got some decent armor units there.
The French 2nd, the French 3rd, plus some independent stuff floating around here.
What's the 1st? Is he not participating?
Oh, yeah, it's in the 1st. Sorry. Yeah, so 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 50th. I have all their units stacked over here off map, just to.
Right.
And I got my supply. I have 1 SP there. I have 5 SP there. Plus I have a wagon with 1 SP, a truck with 1 SP, cavalry, I think there, that's what that is. A 5 SP there, a wagon with 1, a truck with 1, and then none of this has supply in here. Now, another thing I did, so normally you stack up all your division together, but in this case I kind of broke them out here because I'm like, well, I want to make a nice wide defensive perimeter here for the allies to have to go through instead of just having 3 stacks of huge tall stacks over here. I don't know if that's correct.
Well, I got to thinking about that last night after you mentioned that, and the German Panzer divisions were stretched out all over the place anyhow.
Okay.
So
Cambria has 1 SP sitting in it. And gosh, they got a lot of air units here. Wait, how do they have so many air units? They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How do they have 5?
Is a 1, so you can have. Okay, so some will have to be underneath. But let me see.
Oh, that's interesting.
Let me, because the airfields can only handle so much. Air bases. Wait a second. All right, air bases. Okay, no more than 1. Okay, blah blah blah. Air base level effects. Each level allows you know that. Okay, air bases have flak. We put it okay. Only 2T times the level can be. No, don't need that. The stacking limit of active air units in an air base hex is 4 plus the level. So a 1 air base can have 5 units.
Yeah, we got. That's what we got. And what we have on there are JU-87Bs, which are, I have 2 of the, nope, 1 of those.
And you could have 20 inactive aircraft at that same air base.
Sheesh.
There's no limit to inactive.
All right, so what I have in there is a DO-17Z, which is a T, a JU-87B, which is a T, 2 109s, which are fighters, and a and a TTP, which I think is transport and.
Right. So count 10 hexes from that airfield. How far out does that go? From that corner airfield in Cambria towards the Brits. So any air actions you take with the Brits or the Allies within 10 hexes of that air base, they can respond.
Yeah, it's pretty much here.
Yeah.
Most of the map. Just not up in here where they're not going to do anything. Okay. But these little yellow numbers at the top right are 200, 120, 82, 68. That's their range, isn't it?
Yeah. The big triple digit. And
yeah.
And that also has benefits. But see, everything you're going to do in here, anything aircraft does in here, they're going to get a bonus because it's going to be within 10 hexes.
Okay. And the only error that the Allies have, did I say this already, is 406 fighter, D520 fighter, and a 406 fighter. And a Hurricane fighter. So I've only got fighters. So there will be no bombing, barraging, transporting of troops, or anything like that, or supply.
Right, but you might want to. So with the aircraft you have there, you're probably going to use them to waylay the German aircraft.
Okay.
I mean, if there's no other purpose for them, to keep them out of the fight. But those guys, your fighters can, they can, what's the word?
Hip shoot?
Oh no, that's right. I forgot. The Allies can't do it. They don't have any fighters that can do it.
They what?
They don't have any fighters that can do the hip shoot. The Allies don't have it. I want to say that was the, or maybe the Hurricane. Let's not look that up.
So that's going to be a special.
Yeah, there's a special rule in Blitzkrieg Legend. It's only one type of Allied aircraft that can do it. No, I take it back. I stand corrected. The only aircraft that can do it are the JU-87Bs. They're the only ones that can hip shoot.
Spitfires. Oh, yes. So does it say that in here?
Should be in your
special rules.
Yeah, in the scenario rules, or in the front rules of the scenario playbook, or whatever. I'm looking at the negating zone of control thing.
Okay.
All right, an enemy zone of control in a hex is negated if that hex contains a friendly combat unit at that moment. And further, the unit doing the negating will not spend movement points later in the current phase.
Yeah, only JU-87 air units can perform hip shoots. Okay. All right. And Jeff, I missed that because I was reading about hair shoots. Can you say?
A friendly unit in an enemy zone of control can negate the enemy zone of control only if the friendly unit is not going to spend movement points later in the current phase.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. Well, okay, so I mean, I get where that's going for this scenario, because like you'll move in there to block that zone of control, and at the end of the allied turn, they'll consider, when the next turn comes up, that they won't be moving.
Yep.
So that'll be your determination right there. I mean, I think I get the picture. You're just trying to get into a position where you can cut those supplies off.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is you could also use it to practice attacking, right?
Right. Yep. And you're going to have to, it looks like.
All right. So the very first thing, movement. I'm not going to do any breakouts because that doesn't exist. Breakouts are when you're surrounded and you're out of supply, but we don't have that. So I can do, and this, so everybody, this is where I get kind of flummed up, because movement is not just simply moving all your units. You got to think about your supply, how much you have, what can I move this turn, what do I need to move this turn. But there are other things that can happen. You can put, I assume you can put units in reserve at this point if you wanted to.
Yep, and they can move 25% of their movement.
You can build air bases, railroads. You don't have to do any of that, but there's a lot of stuff you can do in movement.
Yeah, well, you're going to have to fuel first.
You can also overrun. All right. Fuel, yes. And I got these independents here who don't belong to anybody. They don't have any stripes on them. That's what I meant by independent. Can they be fueled with somebody as well?
So a headquarters spends one supply point, whether it's direct draw, whether it's wherever, and they can refuel every independent unit within their command range.
And is that their throw range as well?
No, that's 6 that's on there.
The 6 here. Okay. And this
one of your headquarters can put fuel on every independent unit at the cost of 1 supply point.
And is that 6 movement points?
Yeah. So, well, yeah, 6 mobile.
Well, okay, so here's where I get a little confused here. So, all right, well, I got to think of what I want to do first move. So I got these Germans surrounding Eris right here. So I kind of need to work around them. I'm going to have to either attack them or move around them. I'm tempted to have 50th Infantry actually move around them. And have 3rd, what's it cost to cross a river?
Why is war messaging on this?
Major river, minor river. I guess that is probably a minor river, I'm guessing. Let's so it's +3 for track, +5 to cross that. Okay. And you need to be in supply at the moment of combat, right?
Yeah, because you have to burn supply points to do the attack.
Can I move supply during the movement phase?
Yep, that's one of the coolest rules about this game. So you better evaluate first. Okay, so you've got multiple independent armor units there. All right. So, and then you've got divisions, motorized divisions that you're going to want to fuel too.
Yeah.
So you need to determine before you start moving stuff around, you need to determine, okay, I got to burn points here. And I'm assuming the Allies have a butt ton of supply points sitting up there in those hexes.
Yeah, it seems pretty good.
So if you take one headquarters, it looks like one headquarters can supply all your independents by burning 1 point. And then each of your panzer or your motorized divisions will need a point burned to fuel them. And remember, if you're moving in leg and not motorized, there's no fuel to burn. You don't have to burn any fuel. Yeah. So you got to determine that too, how you're going to execute that.
All right. So I think 50th Infantry go in here. 3rd go in here. They go across here, and then I got 2 and 1 over there. And these are just huge stacks of. I've got CC headquarters, 11th headquarters, and 5th headquarters.
I would say go ahead and smoke 1 supply point from that edge headquarters there.
This one?
If that, yeah. So, or, well, okay, so where's that? So this 5-4 here can go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can go to the set. Where's your, how much supply is under those two headquarters?
5 SP, and then 1 on a cart and 1 on a truck. And then I got a couple of units in here.
All right. So you don't want to destroy the ones that are on the vehicles. How much is under that second stack? So another 5 SP?
It's the same. 5.
I would burn on that second stack, burn 1 supply point from him because he looks like he can reach all the independent units.
And yeah, it's movement points, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't reach. Yeah, he can't reach that guy, but that's not independent. Yeah, he can reach all the independents.
All right. So burn 1, and then all your independent armor motorized units will have fuel.
And how do I know that?
You just, yeah, you're just going to have, there's no marker. So.
Oh, that's weird. Okay.
Yeah. Flip. You put a no. What you do, Todd, is you have markers somewhere over there that have the gas gauge thing.
Yeah, like, I noticed the formation headquarters have them, but the
you have them also. You have miscellaneous ones that have. Like,
oh, okay. Shoot, I probably haven't punched those out yet. Whoops.
It don't, we know. You're playing.
Yeah, that's just small. I just want to find.
Turn them sideways or something. Turn them.
Oh, there you go. There they are. Yep. Shoot. Okay. Well, that's good to know. I will remember. Like,
right. And you'll know now. Everybody within the throw range of him.
So then everybody just take that, and just 1 does them all.
Yep. One supply point can fuel every independent unit within his command range.
Okay. Cool. And I'd go bloop, 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 and these guys can. Oh well. Here's a question. Can the French fuel for the British? Well, I guess they can because there's no British headquarters here. So,
yep.
So can these formation headquarters fuel the independents?
No. Now they have to fuel. Well, I want to say they can do like 1, but I'll have to dig that one up.
So let's see. So.
As far as I know, they cannot because it's. I don't remember ever having to do that one. Here we go, fuel supply.
Okay. Cool, I've done something.
Yep, you have. Phase 1. All right, so now you got to fuel all your. So your 50th infantry there.
Well, just real quick. Do I fuel them now? Do I move them, or can I wait?
Well, I mean, if you want to go ahead and move all your independents before you fuel up your motorized, I mean, you can do it as anything you want, in any method you want. So yeah, if you wanted to go move all those independent units right now, go for it.
So I think these independents, though, I was actually going to just reinforce Eris and get all these divisions to attack the stuff. So, well, I'll wait because I'm going to move these guys out of the way. So, but I didn't know if you fueled and then moved everybody, or you just fuel everybody and then move.
Yeah, you can do it as you wish. That's what the whole thing about moving supply points around during the actual movement phase, so that you can be ready for your attacks.
Okay.
Plus, also you notice your armor units there, especially the French ones. They're on their combat side.
Yep.
So their movement's only 2 and 3,
4. Yeah. Yeah, I want to flip them over and get to 9, 12.
And of course, some of your infantry units on the other side is going to have them. Some of them probably be on their foot side, and then you flip them over, and some of them go to their mobile side. Like I was thinking, your 50th infantry, the British. To me, like there are white numbers up there on their movement, so they're on their foot side right there. They don't need fuel like that. But if you flip them, and they're dark like that,
they're gonna need to go into move mode because they can only get to here. Well, yeah, they could actually get to where they need to be here. They could go 1, 2, 3 because they're gonna have to battle these SS guys. So they could just move without doing that. Because zones of control don't mean anything here except for trucks and supply.
Yeah, right. Unless there's a combat unit sitting in the hex, they can bounce off him.
Okay, well, 50th Infantry is going to move without fueling and go 1, 2, 3. And since they're all moving together, I'll just put the headquarters there for now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, look at me. I'm such a big boy now. All right. Unfortunately, the third motorized division is going to definitely have to fuel because they need to cross that river, and that is plus minor river. It's +3 for track, +5 for truck, and +1 for leg, and they need to get up to. My main goal is to get them up here to attack this unit here, this independent. Maybe the SS. I might move them into the SS, and these. I got 2 units here. I don't know.
Yeah, because you literally don't have to attack those units in front of Cambrai, do you?
No, I just want to provide a little blocking force, you know. I mean, I don't even know in reaction phase, can these Germans move up here and take, if they, you know, they could go up here and block the French and they'd lose. So I guess I just need to keep some units here to, so I'm thinking like whichever's the weaker of my 2, first motorized or second motorized. Let's take a look here. 4, 6, so that's 8, 13, 21 versus 5, 15. That's
in the reaction phase, only units in reserve, they can be released to move.
oh, so none of these Germans can move.
Expend fuel as needed, blow dumps. Air units can perform missions, including hip shoots if allowed. And exploitation cannot be earned during reaction. And you can do the reaction phase will include conducting barrages with air units, naval units, only once per turn though, or released ground units, which would be artillery stuff. So yeah, so it says here, release reserves, which can then move half their movement allowance, and they can overrun. Expend fuel as needed, blow dumps, air units can perform missions.
So are you telling me these Germans can't even move because they're not marked reserve?
Nope. I'm looking at it right here in front of me. Yep, the only ground units that can be used in this phase are the non-phasing players' released reserve mode units. Exception, ground units can use air transport during this phase. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. And so the scenario didn't call for any of those Germans to be in reserve?
Not that I'll look real quick. I don't think so.
Well, they were on the offensive, so probably not.
I'm just trying to see my strength there just a second. 13, 18, 20. So my stronger unit is 2. So 1 will come up here and, I mean, I guess I don't even need to do this, but blocking, or we could practice some art, you know, some attacking here, but they're going to come up here and block. But again, they can't move anyway. So, and then second will come in here and kind of also fight to get in here. So really the Germans probably should have put another unit here. So it's just not easy to move in there. We're gonna do that just because they wouldn't leave it open. Okay. So third motorized is going to move over here. They can't move here in their footsteps. So they're going to have to fuel. So I'm going to flip that over. The formation issue is going to flip over to fueled. I got to pull supply from somewhere.
Right, and you can throw that. Do they not have a truck inside their stack of units?
No.
Okay.
So then I could just trace it up to 5 hexes away or whatever. So I'll flip that over to 4.
And he is fueled.
And then I flip them all over to their move side. So they got 10, 9, 10, 12, 12. 12 is truck or road or whatever, wheeled, and the rest is thing. So truck can't cross by this enemy zone of control, can it?
Oh, that's right. Those guys are not. What's their color for their movement?
Black.
Black. Mm.
Can they move? Is it negated if they move with their units that are red?
I don't think so. It's because it says here. don't remember any special rule for that.
Jeff's using the 4.3 rules. I'm using 4.2, but they're close, I think.
All right, terrain zone control. Where's that? Restrictions on movement. Zone of controls stop the movement of a truck movement point unit. All right. So what's the color? Is black? Does black? You said it's black. Does that mean truck?
Yeah.
So,
but it's also there's also a negation comment by truck.
Right. So if yeah, okay, yeah. The problem is this game you can't move a unit. Like if you moved a unit across one unit and he was in the zone of control of the 7th Panzer Division on the other side of the river, then the truck unit could flow through him. That's called laying down carpet or whatever it is. That's how Kev described it.
Yeah, no, I've heard. Yeah, the guy talked about laying down carpet before.
So you could have moved maybe one of the independents over there.
Just any combat unit.
Yeah. Any combat.
So moving together doesn't count.
Yeah, no, truck unit's a truck unit. So
yeah, so if I'm moving with a tank, it doesn't. I didn't negate it.
I'm going to check 4.5A. All right, truck movement negation. A unit with truck movement point that enters an enemy zone of control must either end its movement or else conduct an overrun. Thus allowing blah, blah, blah. Note that units starting a phase in an enemy zone of control can exit that hex using truck movement points. And that movement using leg or track movement point is unaffected by zone of control. Oh, they got a nice little diagram at the top of page 7 that explains it to you perfectly. I think that's the same in 4.2.
Okay. All right. Well, then in that case, I'm moving these guys. I change it to move mode. It's got 8 now. 1, 2, 3, and then to move across that river, which I'm guessing is a minor river. I don't know.
I don't have my charts for that in front of me. I don't think there's two kinds of rivers. Yeah.
Minor, major, Rhine.
Yeah, does one have a darker?
All right, then. So these guys will now move. Still got to move to that mode. So for him, that's 1, 6, 7, 8. And so the rest of these guys can move here because they all have. Whew, that guy barely makes it. I said I wasn't going to put the counters in there, but it's more fun to see the stack. I'll go there. Yikes, this guy's a 1 action rating. Holy crap. I think I'll keep him back here. One. Three, 4, 5. actually. 1, 2. Okay, so they've moved, and they're going to stay there. He laid a little carpet layer. 1M, so I need to fuel him. Time for Jeff's little snack. Okay.
Got some rigatonis I need to finish eating.
I'll just pull that point he used from here. Oh, wait, no, I don't want to use that. So now he'll go down to a 3. So one's going to come up here and just be all aligned up there. So, gosh, I don't know. Maybe I didn't even need to fuel them. 5, they got 5. There's 3. And 6. They may not even need to fuel.
You've got enough supply, that's for sure, for one turn.
Yeah, half. 1.5, 2.5, 3.5. Yeah, everybody can move within distance, so there's no need to. I mean, I don't know if how bad. I don't know how bad I'm going to need all that.
Well, you're going to need. You figure you're going to probably, if you guesstimate that you're going to need a minimum of 1 SP for any attack you make, maybe even consider it to be 1.5. You're gonna burn, but it seems to me I believe you have enough for this one turn scenario. So.
Sure seems like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think they would shortchange you, though they wouldn't want to make it so it's tight. But so
could you have overrun with that third motor?
Oh yeah. Could I have tried to overrun somebody like this SST unit that's a 1-3-16?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
You have to have 3 movement to get in there, right?
Let's see.
I think I was actually, if I need 3, I don't think anybody could overrun them.
Overrun. Move the attacking stack adjacent to the target hex and declare the overrun. Overrun's made blah, 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 blah. Attack capable units that started the phase stacked together can overrun. They must be in combat, move, or exploitation mode. Units can't overrun. Is it 9:30 already? My God.
Yeah.
Units can, let's see. Okay, yeah. Moving units spend 3 movement points for each overrun.
Yeah, I don't have enough.
All right.
But, well, actually, one of my units could.
Well, and you might get exploit in the combat. So.
Well, and didn't it say in combat mode or exploit mode? Because they're in move mode.
They can do it in combat, move, or exploit.
But they're in move mode.
Doesn't matter. They can do it. But I'm sorry. What did I say? Yeah, they can do it. I'd say. Let me read it again. Only attack-capable units that started the phase stacked together can overrun. They must be in combat, move, or exploitation.
I missed when you said move. Sorry. Okay. Well, I mean, I could try to overrun one unit.
Give it a shot.
It's a 5-2 against a 1-3. All right, well, let's do it. Does he have to pay for that?
You know what? That's a good question. I'm always asked that question myself. Wait a minute, I'll tell you real quick. I got to open right here. Let's see. Resolve overruns like any other combat.
Well, then I might be.
So you got to burn supply. But you're only overrunning with one unit, right? What is his size? Is he a battalion?
He is a battalion.
So that's a half of an RE. So you're going to burn not a full point. You're going to burn 1/4 of a point. Supply point.
So 1 T.
Thank you. That thing.
Well, so he has to be within 6 of some supply then.
Right.
Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And road movement count. So he's 5 here, but it's only 5.5 here. But that doesn't work.
Well, what's the minor road? Oh, you can't because so if you went 1 and then used, isn't the minor road half too?
That's a track, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let me pull out the map legend. I thought I knew what those were. Second, those are tracks. Those are worth 1.
Okay, so move. Okay, all right. So another way you could have looked at this was, so since this is the first time, so go up there and get one of those trucks or one of those carts that have a supply point.
Okay.
And you would have pre-moved that, because you're going to think about what you're going to do before you do it. So you could have moved your supply down in there ahead of time to where they were in range, and then you could burn that T.
All right, let's move a wagon because those trucks, we got to think through. Those trucks got a lot of movement. They can move a lot of this supply down there.
Right.
With their 45 movement points. Well, I laid down this carpet so they can move past this carpet, right? Right.
Yep, that's
so 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, you don't even have to get them all the way down there. Just get them within that 5X range.
Yep. Okay, so if they're there, it's 1, 2. That river's causing me a problem there. So let's go this way.
Yeah, because we know the Germans aren't going to move. You don't have to worry about it.
3, 4. Those little lakes cause a problem at all, or they're just for show?
I think they're just there to be ornaments.
I mean, these lakes are in here.
Are they on the train chart? Do they say anything special?
They are not. Yippee! All right, so there, I got a supply point there. So now I want to pay for that. So now it's 3T. And I can, oh wait, do I have to take it off the truck somewhere? Oh, you can feed from the truck?
Yep, you can direct draw right from the vehicle.
Okay, but if I want to drop it off, it has to be at a detrainable hex or on a unit.
Right, you got it.
Like I can't just dump it here in the middle of nowhere.
Nope. No dump.
Okay. All right, so there we go. So now he is supplied. Yeah, okay, so that makes sense. So you really want to move your supply first.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're going to be conducting overruns, you definitely want to have supply located for the overruns.
Okay, well, I'll look at the next ones. We'll see if I need to do that first. All right, so we got an overrun. So I'm going to go to my charts here. I got the 4-3 charts. It's not the 4-3 rules. Air combat, air transport success, air base capture, flak. Barrage, additional shifts to barrage. There's my combat table, which I'll refer to in a minute. Combat sequence summary, surprise. So basically, this is just combat, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And of course, you're gonna do surprise, and you get a benefit.
Oh, the SS has to use some supply, right?
Yeah, like any other. Well, wait a minute. If it's a certain number of REs, I want to say no, but give me a second. Let's see. Okay.
If 1 RE or less, cost is 1 T.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
All right. Well, or
You don't have to use it. They can use their internal.
but everything's defend. He's already at a 1, so I don't think I want to go less than that. So now it's going to be. All right. Let's do some little math here. So it's going to be 1 T, 1 SP, and 3. So here, boys and girls, you get to do like some simple dollars and quarters. Okay. The attacker identifies his action rating unit. So you have a lead unit in attacking, right? So if in this case, oh, he's a 2. Oh, well, that'll be fun. So 5-2 against a 1-3. Followed by the defender identifying his. The defender announces terrain choices. It's open. The defender announces terrain choices. The announce action rating values. Attacker first, then defender. 2, 3. Roll 2 dice to determine surprise. Modify the odds column. Okay. Roll 2 dice. There's a -1 to the roll because
of.
Yeah, I thought that there's not a modifier of this with the action ratings.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Yep.
Yep. So I'm not going to add the differential. I'm going to subtract it because. So it's a 5.
Forget it.
Or less. Defender gains surprise. Oh, over on attack. Yep. 6 or less. Defender gains surprise. This is not good.
No.
So now I roll 1 die for the number of columns. It is a 4-column shift.
Oh my God.
Not going well. Okay. All right. So is there anything that fighters or anything can do with this? I don't actually know that the French can't because they've only got fighters. Can they?
No, and it's not a reaction phase yet for the Germans. So
Okay.
if you'd have flown an aircraft into that hex, but I don't think you can do that during overrun, dude.
Well, it doesn't matter at this point anyway because the French don't have anybody.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I know I'm going to shift 4 columns. I'm attacking at 5-1, which is nice, easy math. In open, but I'm going to have to shift over to 4, 3, 2, down to 1-1. Oh, here. Everyone wants to see the die rolls.
Get my charts out.
This is not going to be good. AL 101.
All right. So the attacker loses 1, and then he has an option of 1. Well, I got a feeling he's only 1 step in there.
No.
Okay. So he's going to take a hit, which you're going to put one of those skulls on him.
Oh shoot, he is a regiment. I'm sorry, I thought I was seeing 2 bars. I don't know if that matters, but anyway.
He'll have on his combat side. He'll have a stacking number if he's more than 1. So if he's not, you just lost.
Nope, he doesn't have anything.
Yeah, you lost him. Damn French tanks. Way to go,
Okay.
De Gaulle.
But only he has to. The whole stack doesn't have to do anything because no one else was attacking. That blows, though. I just got lost 5 attack units for my glorious attack. Wow. Okay, next.
Get new dice.
I need to get some combat, some supply over here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. This truck's going to take his 1 over there. I got a whole stack attacking here, so I'm going to need a lot of stuff here.
Move your camera.
Thank you.
Yeah. So so you understand though that truck can make a trip, drop, go back, get more, come back.
Yep. But I got to see how much attacking I'm going to need for this. I got 1, 2, 3, 3 regiments and a battalion.
Right. Well, I'll put it this way. The Germans aren't going to do anything. So you need to move as many supply points as you can down in there, because the Germans aren't going to do nothing to it. They can't do nothing to it. So you need to make as many trips as you can and get as many supply points down there as possible.
If I'm sitting here, oh, this truck is only a 1, so I can't flip it over to its 2 side because it said it's a 1 truck. So.
Right.
Poopy. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 5. So I guess I'll just dump them all. Just dump it all right here because they can reach it all.
Well, you got to dump him on the unit.
Oh, well, okay. If you're going to be that way about it.
And then it costs you, he's a 45 movement factor, so it takes 5 to burn to drop that supply.
5 to drop it.
Right.
Where is a good idea to drop it? Is it smart just to drop it on this airbase?
Yeah, because the Germans aren't going to, they can't attack you.
Right. I'm just thinking like if you're playing.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it where, sometimes you've got no choice though.
All right, so it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5, and then now it's 9.5 to get rid of it, and then let's just say 4.
Yeah, that works.
4, 9, and then it's another 4, so that now that's 13. So now I load another one up there.
5 more points.
18. I could probably sit there and do the math, but
You might drop what, 4 of
20, 22, and now drop it off. That's another. No, man, I can see some of our war room people watching this going, no, thank you. Which is what I've thought before, but that's why I'm only focused on a few games, because I can put it up with it for a while. It's kind of cool when you do it.
It's tough when playing that campaign game, trying to account for supply on a mass scale.
Let's see, 33 plus another 5 is 38. $42. Oh, I can't dump it
because you don't have enough strength.
Well, but can he? You said you can use it off the truck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, since since they can't attack you, I'd be moving every supply point I can, except for what I might need if I'm going to use my air units.
All right, well, we need to do the same with these guys.
And another thing you probably need to do is one of those headquarters units, flipping him and moving him down there so that next, well, I guess it won't matter really. Well, yeah, because
he can't move supply.
Your headquarters can throw. You can throw supply via your headquarters.
Are they kind of an extender in a way?
Yeah. If he can reach.
Okay. Well, I mean, if I flip him to move, he can move 4 hexes, get up here, and he could use the remaining 2 because he'd be closer than 5, and then he'd be within 5 of these guys. Yeah.
Okay. So his effectiveness.
Well, its throw range is 4.
Yeah. So 5. Yeah, you're right. You got it. You grab this shit faster than I do. That's for sure.
So 1, 2. I'll move him back here. And then this guy, I'll move him over into lanes to kind of block that, protect that supply.
I'm going to pee while you're moving.
Sounds like a great plan. One, 2. So then I want to move this supply. One, 2, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to move this unit down here. And I will dump supply on him. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 2.5, 3, 4. So it's going to be 4 to there. So it's almost the same thing. So 4. So it's going to be 4 plus 5, and then back will be 4 plus 5. So that's 10. Sorry, everybody, my arm's in the way. So it's 4 to move there, 5 to dump. So I can put 1.
Yeah, the headquarters units are vital.
That's 10. That's 10 there. 10 back to load, so that's 1 more. 10 back to drop it. Shoot, man, this is hard to keep track of that. Holy crap, dude. So I've used 10. I go back, I pick it up, and I got another 10. I drive over there, and I drop it off for 10. And I drive up there and pick one up for another 10. And then I drive over there just like I did before. So 1. So again, I'm just going to get 2 over there. So I can take that down to 2. Holy moly, man. And then this truck is down there for a total of 2. Yeah, I gotta think of a better way to manage that in my head, ball.
I don't know if there is a better way.
Holy crap. Come on, man. Yeah, I'm only able to get 2 things down there, and I'm so close. That's crazy.
Yeah, but you still got 2 more motorized.
Well, the
You don't
car.
need trucks?
I've already used my trucks. Yeah, it costs 10 just to 4 to move there, 5 to dump. That's 9.
You got any rail move?
No. They decided not to worry us about that. So we know that's 4 to move there. And I can dump it off for that. And I can move back there, and there's nothing I can do about it. He's just going to sit there empty. And then, yeah, I probably want to move my headquarters over there.
Well, that's you can't move that one.
Why is that?
You were using him. You were throwing with him. You fueled up. You used him, remember, to fuel all your independence.
Oh, shoot.
You got another one.
Would you put a fuel marker on top of him?
That's why you put so that you know that. But you got that other headquarters unit.
Yeah, I moved him already.
No,
I got this guy.
There you go.
Yeah, he needs to be down here to throw this other stuff down. He's only got 1 to throw, though, but he can throw from anywhere.
Yeah, but I don't see where he's going to have to, because everything where those supply drops are. Oh, in case you need to reach back to the. Yeah, good point. Good point.
Sheesh, man. This is the thing about this game.
Mm-hmm.
So to move this artillery, oh wait, this artillery group is an independent, so he could have been fueled during that too.
Yep. That's why you mark that unit that way, in case you forget one.
But I guess what I'm trying to think about is, how do you know which independents you fuel? Do you put fuel markers on them as well?
They don't have like move markers or anything you put on them. So I mean, I guess that's a memory thing.
Oh wow! And this is a small scenario. All right.
They were saying you turn, once a unit moves, turn him sideways, if it's one of those independent units. But play the full game and try to do that every turn.
Yeah, no.
That wasn't happening. So I guarantee you, I moved some infantry units or motorized units twice.
One, two, three, four. All right, so I think I've moved all the supply I possibly can. This guy needs to go into move mode. I need all the artillery I can get, although I know that's stupid expensive too. The range for artillery is the bottom number. So I got 1313. That's some sort of artillery group that fires at 13 with 1 action rating at a 3 range.
Right. Which firing artillery is extremely expensive.
Yeah.
I heard with Third Winter, they're modifying that.
All right, so one. Okay, so I've done my supply, and these guys are all going to flip. Do I need to flip them though?
Yeah, I've had some stacks where I didn't flip some of the units. You know, they were close enough to what I was doing, but others had to be flipped.
1.5. I can use road movement up to my hex, but I'm assuming I can't use road movement to overrun. So I'd go 1.5, add 1.5, 2.5, add 3 would make it 5.5. So they couldn't do it. Son of a.
No, okay, so you move up to the hex adjacent.
Right, but then do they pay +3 movement into the hex, or
yeah, just 3 movement points no matter what?
Oh, so that's make sure I do that right. That's 1, 1.5, 4.5. Okay. So this whole stack here.
He's going for it.
Yeah, we got. They're both the same, so it's going to be 8, 2, 5, and 5. So 10, 18, 20. And I assume the motorized artillery can't.
Well, he can't overrun, but if he's motorized, he can move with him.
Okay, well, they're going to move here.
And they can advance with him, too.
Can these guys move there? So can I move him? 1.5, 1.5, 2.5. Yeah, they can't get down that far. I'd have to flip them over to. Is there any point? But I could advance into here and block that off. So yeah, I want to do this. All right, so 20-2 will be 10-1. And they both, do I have any 5 action ratings? Come on, French. Come on. No. So it's an even action rating, so that's good.
So you're going to roll what, a 9 or better?
So it's 10-1. They're close.
Well, you're doing surprise first. Just roll for your surprise first.
Okay. I have a little, you know what? I should move this over here. Let's see if I can get this on my camera. I don't know if I can because I'm very tightly focused here. Oh, yeah. Might be a little blurry. And so now what I'm looking for is on the surprise table. I want 9 or more.
Right.
Boom!
Did it. Uh-oh. Now for the shift.
Come on, Betty. When I was rolling for shifts in my game with those guys, I rolled like 1s. 5.
Oh, this ought to be a smoker. You said 10-1.
So it's 9-1 open. So it's going to go to the 13-1 column.
Blown out. Pretty much. 7.
It's an AE3 DL202DG.
So dropping an exploit 3 marker on your panzer unit. on your.
I don't have one punched out yet. We'll just. I'll put E3 here to remind me.
And
So there's a marker, everybody, that you put on there. It's a little arrow with a 3.
I'm assuming there was only one unit in that hex.
Oh yeah, shoot! You can't see my light's too bright. Yeah, it's a red. It's a battalion.
So he's going. Oh, supply. Did you burn supply? Both.
Okay. First of all, no, I did not. So, okay, I need to figure out how much that is first. So that is a battalion, another regiment. They're all, no one has any steps. They're all single step.
There's 2T. You have 2 battalions in a regiment. There's 2T right there.
And another battalion.
All right, so you got to burn 1, so you're going to burn 3T.
And again, it's just back 5.
Back 5.
And I just need to count back.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to take it. If you can take it from one of them way back there, that's probably better. Because then you can use this other stuff for combat. And then the Germans got to burn, what, 1T?
Yeah.
So that's all I like about EFS. The defender doesn't have to burn any supply. They really simplified it, and it still, to me, has the same effect with less work.
I'm going to have to get really more clear, more better at my tweezer movements. I'm just going to put this supply on top. All right, so you got an AE3, a DL2O2DG. So these guys can advance just 1 hex, right?
Well, they have to go into the hex they overrun.
Got it.
And then if they had any movement points left, you may continue to move.
They did not. Actually, you know what? This guy couldn't have moved. He could only have moved to there. The artillery.
Well, yeah. Good. Yeah, but he I don't think there's any difference. I think he can advance with them.
He didn't have enough movement points to even move into overrun. So he has to stop there at 2.5. But that's good. That lays that carpet for supply.
A successful overrun.
Woohoo! And then I can exploit and block off that. I think
during your exploit phase, yeah.
The exploit movement take supply.
No, they're fueled until the next turn. We did burn a fuel point for them, right? Or did you not?
I did. No, I didn't have to.
Okay. So, yeah. What? Oh.
Well, hold on here. Let me ask you.
Yeah, because I think only motorized units can exploit. Let's take a peek in the old book.
Yeah, so I have 3 tracks and 1 truck movement.
So exploitation, section 11.
I would be fine leaving a unit back there because I'm going to need them to trace supply back through them.
All
no,
right.
Wait, you said they don't negate. Shoot.
Say that again.
Well, go ahead. Let's look at the exploit first.
Oh, okay. The only ground units that can move or fight are exploitation mode units and units released from reserve mode. Blah, 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 blah. The phasing player can release anything. We know that. He is not required to do so. The players can mark, release, reserve, and exploit markers. Units actually in exploitation mode can move only half their movement allowance and released reserves. Okay. Well, doesn't say that. Doesn't say anything about that. Let's see. Usually, no, that's it. It's only a tiny little section about exploitation. And it doesn't say shit or crap about being motorized. They can only, but if they exploit, they can only move half of their movement allowance.
Okay. Oh, really?
Remember, what do the numbers for exploitation mean now?
I don't. While you're reading that, I'm going to cut out an exploit 3 counter. This counter cutting.
Oh, that's right. They got to roll against that exploitation marker.
What's that?
You have to like roll against that exploitation marker or something in order to exploit. If you decide to do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I gotta look that.
Are you also paying for it?
Well, you're already fueled.
Well, but I'm not.
Oh, that's right. You didn't fuel them. Well, yeah, but if you're not gonna fuel, if you're gonna stay on that side, you don't. Why worry about it?
Okay, well, we'll worry about exploiting if I didn't do it right, and that's fine. Well, that's what we're doing, learning here. So I put this. So I got this 3 marker.
I wonder why that rule didn't cover that. It's weird.
Okay. Next, and that last movement here. I think this light is a little bright here. I kind of need to work on that a little bit. It's kind of.
Wow, it's on the freaking turn record chart. I don't even know why I'm reading it. All right. Move exploitation marked units 1/2 of their movement allowance, or if released from reserve, full movement allowance. Move 1 unit and stack completely. Oh, come on. I know that damn number means something.
Hey, Jeff,
Yeah.
These guys weren't in move mode, but they still were red. They still had to pay fuel for that, right?
The mechanized stuff did.
Okay, so they did have to fuel.
All right. Okay.
But I was able to keep them in their move mode or their combat mode.
Right.
So I need to pay 1 SP for that?
Yep.
Yikes. I'm getting low.
Oh, come here. Where are you?
Getting low, Jeff. I'm worried. All right, so then these guys are going to definitely have to move into move mode.
Oh, okay. Attackers with an action rating of the number or more are exploitation marked. So is every stack in that hex of 3 or better?
Yes.
They're actually okay. Then you can mark them. That's what that 3 means.
Cool.
So if that were a 5 AE, then only ones that are 5 or better could move in the exploitation. I knew that had a value for something.
Okay, just used up all that supply.
Burn it up. You get more the next turn. Oh, wait. There is no next turn.
Now these guys are in move mode, so they're weak. And these only are 3 action ratings. And all the Germans I'm against are 4s. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. Okay, can I get in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. All right, so I'm going to move these guys in here. I don't know where the right spacing is here, so we'll just go here. So 10 against 2 is 5 to 1. Another -1 on the surprise. Wait, I got to pay combat here. So for him, All right, so Jeff,
All right.
let me pay for the allies because I know I can reach them first, and then I'll ask my question. So I'm pretty much going to have to eat this. So it's 1 battalion, 2 battalions, 3 battalions, and a regiment.
Well, yeah. Oh, you're paying your combat, yeah. All right, so 2 battalions make up 1 RE.
Attacker is 1 T per attacking step.
Right, but if you use your conversion chart, only ground combat units have REs as the thing. So multi-step units have their RE size shown on the counter.
And all these are singles.
Right. So your battalions are 1/2. Replacement and company size units are 1/4, and all other sizes count as 1.
So it's 2.5. It's
regiment is 1 by itself. A battalion is 1/2, so 2 battalions make 1. Or 1 T, sorry.
2 battalions make 1 T?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. I'm not seeing that on this 4.3 chart.
It's over on in your rules. It's on section 4.6, regimental equivalents.
But 1 RE equals 1 SP equals 4 T.
Read your regimental equivalents.
You quit telling me what to do. All right. General concepts. But then I don't understand this combat supply chart on 4.3 then.
Well, let's see. Let me read this. Concept of regimental equivalents used to figure the size of a unit. And this just says it makes a comment important for things like stacking and transport.
Okay.
The Europa game system is where this comes from. Now I'm getting the picture.
Oh, okay. No, that makes sense. Yeah, there's 2 battalions in a regiment. So typically. Yeah. So it's going to cost me 2 and 2.5.
Well, yeah, and since the 1/2, you still have to use 1 T.
Well, what I mean is it's going to cost me 2 supply, 2.5 supply points, or 2 supply and 2 T.
Oh, that's too much, dude.
Well, I've got 1 regiment.
1 T. It's 1 T for each RE.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. It's a T for a regiment.
Hey, I can't laugh because the first one I played, I did that. And I was like, where's all my supply?
Okay. A regiment is considered an attacking step.
Right.
Okay. Unless they have like a 2 or 3 or 4.
Yeah, that's weird though. Somebody should clear that rule up because I can see how that would throw somebody off. Because you could literally, that stack could literally cost you 4 T, a whole supply point.
Yeah, because in a way that is a step, right? But
Yeah.
a step is a relevant. Okay. So let me start over. So that regiment is 1 step.
Right.
That's 1. I have 2 battalions that are 1/2 of 1. So that's going to cost 1. Oh. That's 2 T. And then I have another 1/2. So it's going to cost me 3 T. Is that still too much?
No. Yeah. The 1/2 a step. Yeah. So you got a 3 T.
Okay. Whew.
I know. What a pain in the ass.
How do we play this game?
It's nerve-wracking.
Well, I should have just taken that away there. Sorry, I got 3 T right here. Just plop that guy off. Okay, now the German has to pay it. So now here's the German question. He's a regiment, so he's going to cost 1 T.
1 T. Right.
So if you look here, he's going to take it from Cambria, but he can't go through this guy, right? Because now there's this enemy zone of control in there.
Right.
And he does not count, so he has to go out and around. So he's 1, 2, 3.
No, you can go right through it. You can go right through that unit.
But I thought they didn't negate
Negates.
zone of control for straight supply.
That's a combat unit. Negates.
For trace supply.
Okay, negates.
Okay. I'll get it someday.
But are you sure it's that's a regiment? Are you sure it's only 1T? You read that rule to me. What is it? You found it well before I did.
The concept of regiment RE is used to.
No. The Germans supply they got to spend for defense. You read it.
Oh.
Because he's a regiment. I was wondering.
Defender. 2T per combat. If 1 RE or less, cost is 1T.
Okay, 1 RE. Okay, all right, cool. I get it. I thought it.
All right, so now let's get to counting here. It's 5-1 right now. Roll for surprise. It's at a -1. So I need it as the attacker. I need to roll it. I need to roll 10 or more. And I rolled a 10, baby.
Booyah!
Come on, need it high, baby. Need it high. 2. That's fine. That takes me up to 9-1. Oh, are there modifiers on the combat roll at all? Add the action rating of selected attacking units. Subtract the action. Oh yeah, so it's going to be a -1.
So you didn't do it? No, because it's a 9 or better on that. Who had the better value?
No, for the surprise, I subtracted 1 because the Germans have the better surprise or better action rating. So I rolled a 10, so I got a 9. So the attacker still gets a surprise.
Right, and on your combat roll, you'll also apply the die roll modifier.
Right, I'll apply -1 because the Germans are higher. Ooh, whoops. So 4 on the 9-1 is A01, DL101. So here we can figure out all of these fun numbers. So DL loses 1 and they get to option 1. However, they're only 1 step, so they will lose 1. Correct?
Yep.
And if there was another step, that option could either lose it or
What was the result again?
DL101.
All right, so he's got to lose a step.
And he does it, so he's out.
What was the attacker? I always do the attacker first.
Okay. Well, I guess my lead unit was this. They're all 3s, so.
Oh, did they take a loss?
Yeah, because it's whoops, A01 option.
All right, so yeah, so you don't. If the defender, okay, so you have the option to retreat as an A01 or take a step loss.
The whole stack or just one unit?
Whoever attacked, whoever it was that attacked.
The whole stack.
Yeah. If not, you have to lose a step if you don't retreat.
And does that have to be your lead unit?
The unit that whoever attacked has to retreat or so you got to take a step loss.
What I'm getting at though is I had 3 units or 4 units that attacked. Right. Which unit takes the loss?
It's whoever you use the valuer, the value rating.
I guess I would probably use this regiment, right? Because they have more to lose, or they're all lost. I mean, if he only has 1 step, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, they're all a bunch of 1-steppers. Now you don't have to. Of course, I guess in this scenario you need to not retreat. So
yeah, so I'll lose him.
And what was the defender's result? You said it was DL101, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it didn't matter. He was lost anyhow. So you took the step loss, which means now you can move forward.
Ook.
So so let's say that result was A01, D01, and you chose to retreat the attacking force, the defender would not have to exercise his option 1. He could just stay put.
Okay.
This game's got some weird rules, but it's got some weird rules that seem to balance everything out.
Well, it makes sense. If the attackers retreat, why would you retreat out of your hex?
Right.
Okay, well then that's everything there. So I've done all my movement. So now it is time. Boy, that was the movement phase. Let's see. Got on here. We've only been on here an hour and a half, and we've got through the movement step. Air naval barrage. I don't have any barrage. Oh, well, air naval barrage. Nope, can't do that. I don't have any. Supply. Replenish supply for any units with low exhausted markers. Determine which cannot be supplied by trace supply. They may either eat off the map or be marked out of supply. Then check for attrition of all stacks without a supply units. Okay, so.
You don't have any.
Well, just to make sure. So do zones of control, combat zones of control would have negated this supply, but I carpeted it so they go through it.
Right.
Now, does he have to count back to one of his current stacks of supply, or probably so, yeah?
To a supply source.
Where there's supply points sitting.
Yeah. All your units should be good.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Did Germans check as well, or just me?
No, that's just your turn.
Okay. Reaction, movement, release. So no one's on reserve.
Right.
So
now they can perform air missions.
If allowed, hip shoots, including hip shoots.
Right. Are they allowed to? Do your rules say in there? So they can bomb the shit out of your freaking armor that just blew down in there if they want to.
Well, I want to definitely do these. I probably want to take. Yeah, well, right now the British are winning. They're blocking Cambria from supply because this unit's here. This cannot go through anybody. So Cambria is now out of supply. Okay.
All right.
I think like there's one, but this zone of control is hitting those two hexes, so it cannot go through that.
So you have Cambria negated.
Yep.
So if I were the Germans, I'd be flying those Junkers in there on top of that damn armor.
This here?
Mm-hmm.
Can they destroy them? There's 3 counters in here.
Well, yeah, I mean you've got. Where's your table at? You can fly what up to 4?
Well, I've only got 2, so no, I got 3. So only T's.
Those 12 strength are jobs, boy. And see, you have 1s on the back ends of those fighters. So now, all right. So here's your thing. So the Germans. Let's say they fly that all 4 of those units in there on top of that stuff.
It's 3 units, just
right. Well, what about the other fighter?
Those are fighters.
Yeah, it's got a 1 strength for bombing too.
Oh,
here's what I'm saying: is those Allied air units sitting up there? Now they can respond because they're within that zone, that 10 hexes.
Well, actually, these guys have bombs too.
Yeah, they got 1, but that's not worth a nickel.
Okay.
Cool thing about air is you don't have to burn any supply. So so you would fly. Let's say you flew 1 fighter and 3 fighter bombers or bombers in there. All right. Then the Allies can react. Their aircraft can react. They can intercept if they're within that 10 hex range of the fighter base.
Ooh, I don't know if I have enough. I don't have enough supply to do all this.
You don't burn any supply. You refit your planes on the next turn.
Oh, wait, I'm looking at the wrong thing, I guess.
Yeah. Your planes
are going to use the barrage table, or am I using the...
No, you have an air combat table.
No, hold on.
You want another table.
No, wait, no, that's air combat, not the bombing of the units.
Right. Well, right. At first, though, you got to do air combat. So if you just, like saying, if you decide to fly those bombers over there to hit that second motorized, then the Allies can fly their fighters down there to interdict you or intercept.
Okay. Well, let's do that first. All right. So these 3 are going to, so they're 24 and 32.
Right.
Do I need to fly a bomber in there? Does it bump them up a column or anything? So what table am I looking at for that?
So when you get to it, you're going to use the barrage table on the back of the combat CRT when you get to that.
All right. So I said I have 32, and adding 1 will not help it any. Unless having a fighter with him will help fight against that fighter.
Yes, your fighter will be what fights against their fighter.
Okay. And so you want them to fly with them. They can't just sit in this base and fly up and intercept them or something. They have to be with the.
That's why I was saying, well, the Germans, they can run missions too. So they can run all of their normal missions. So if you wanted to right now have your Germans fly up and engage those fighters right off the bat. So what you do is take one fighter, fly up there, take one of your German fighters.
And you're saying it doesn't cost me anything?
Nope. Fly up there. They're in range, I'm sure, right?
Oh yeah.
All right. So now he's going to take on each one of those fighters one at a time.
So now that's air combat table.
Yeah. So now you're doing air combat. And the first roll is simple. Roll 2 dice.
And is the range 10 or is it the range the yellow thing?
No, it's whatever your big number is.
It's 68. So it's fine.
So he flies up there. He's going to engage those guys. All right. The first thing you do is you roll on the 14.3E table, which is air combat table.
Yep. And they all have the same air combat rating of 4.
All right.
So now I'm looking for. I want.
So roll 2 for your 12-sided, and then roll one other 6-sided dice with it.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see if I want 8 or more as the Germans. And I rolled a 12.
Right, so your defender aborts.
I'll roll another die
to see if anybody took a step loss. That's why the other die. Oh,
step loss on that plane.
Yeah. So your attacker, he's still over there in the air.
So now that guy goes down to a 3-0.
Right, and he goes back, he aborts and goes underneath the airbase, and the other air unit that's up there, you take
now the Germans have a 1 advantage. So now I need a 9. I need a 7 or more. 7. 3. So no loss.
Right,
but he aborts.
Anything else up there?
1 more.
Now, the parenthesized numbers on your bombers, they use that defensively in air-to-air.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Attacker aborts.
Right, and you've got to roll for loss on your fighter. Nope, good to go. So he goes inactive back under the airbase. Is there anything else up there you need to engage?
Yeah, so they would have the 3 rating going up against my -2. 2, 1, and 2 bombers. So I probably want to get rid of him again, right? Well, I also got this hawk. Remember, I got this hurricane over here too that will probably intercept him.
Yeah, you might. Do you have is that the only air you got as a Cambrai?
Yep.
Yeah. So what's left up in the other base up there? You should have 2 allied units that went inactive or unfit or.
Yeah, all I've got is this 3 fighter.
All right, so you got a 3 fighter. Okay, so let's say your fighter there flies over there to engage that guy.
Okay.
Now.
So it's a 4 and a 3. So.
Right. Okay.
7, 8. So. The defender aborts,
right.
And no loss.
Right.
But I got rid of it. So now there's still a fighter that's going to intercept these guys.
There you go. So you can, that allied fighter could fly down there and intercept that one that just flew. But do you want to do that at a 3 to a 4? Because put it this way, the German fighter who just flew, he's now done. If nothing else happens, he's done. He goes back under the base. So now all you've got is bombers, German bombers, and your 1 allied fighter up there can try to intercept them. If you're going to put those bombers to use.
Yeah. So the question, I think attack these guys. See if I can get rid of.
Yeah.
I have to eliminate that. These guys get to exploit up here, but I don't know what that takes yet. So
you fly all 3 of those bombers. Well, you don't have to move them, and then try to intercept with the French fighter.
Okay. Is that just air combat?
Yeah, so you'll just pick one of them and you'll go in there. So it'll be 3 to 2, 3 to 2, 3 to 1 for the ratings.
So it's going to be okay. So he's got a 1 advantage, 2 advantage.
Right.
So 11.
And he's the attacker now. So.
Yep. So that HE11 aborts, and he's lost.
Oh, he's only got 1 step.
Well, no, he flipped over to a 1.
Yeah.
So 5.
Just lost.
So 6.
Oh, 6, 7, both aborts.
Attacker aborts. Oh, no, 5, 6. So it's attacker aborts.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, I got it.
And he's not lost. So that's good. So those 2 bombers that Junker doesn't have to go against him.
Right.
That's pretty effective, though.
Yep. So now you've got 2 bombers that can finish their mission. But they're going to have to take flak.
Why is that?
Because they're flying over top of combat units. Now they got to take flak fire.
Oh, come on. Bull crap.
Okay. So you drop down to the table below where it says flak. Check your flak roll modifiers. And the mission has 3 or more air units. No, it doesn't. Is there a headquarters in that hex where he's attacking? No. It's not an air base. Map print flak. No. Mission has at least 1 fighter. No, not anymore. Mission has no fighters. And you're in an enemy patrol zone. That's that 10 hex thing. So, and the mission, so you're going to roll on the flak table on the 2 aircraft column, and you're going to roll a, where's that? All right, you're going to add +2, and if the modified roll is an 11 or more, you're going to use the chart to kill mission aircraft. So you're going to roll 2 dice and add 2 to it.
Because there's no fighters.
Right. And you're in a patrol zone. There's no fighters on yours. Because they got chased away. You got to do it. The Germans have to attack them. So
12.
Yeah. So, okay. So now you're going to roll on the 2 aircraft mission loss table. Roll 1d6.
2.
All right. Look on your mission 2 aircraft mission loss table.
My choice.
It says number 1. The aircraft in position number 1 is, yeah, he takes a loss.
Well, how do you have to determine?
Yeah, so you got them left to right there. Just flip the first one over. That's how I always did it. And then those guys, they don't abort. They can continue the mission.
Jiminy. So I went from a 30 to a 16.
Yeah. Which still gives you a decent chance. But now, what are you attacking? How many REs are in that stack that you're bombing?
2.
Right. So you're going to, on a greater than 1 RE up to 3, there is no density shifts. And there are shifts for, you've got a spotter, so that's good. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at artillery dice. Oh, yeah. You use the barrage table for that. An aircraft. Oh, if all aircraft are at or within 10 hexes of their base, you're going to go right 1. So you're going to go from the 12 to 16 column to the 17, 24 column.
Okay. And I have to pay this cost?
There's no cost to pay.
So that cost is only for artillery?
Right, artillery, yeah. Because you paid your cost to refit your planes at the start of each turn.
Okay. So now I'm rolling on the 17 to 24. Any modifiers?
Let's see. We already gave you the 1 column shift. There's no die roll modifiers. Better roll big.
British, I want to roll small.
Oh, yeah, I'm moving bad. 7. So you DG'd the target. And that's it. All of that work just to get them DG'd. We could do that. Hey, we could do that in SCS with one thing. And don't take no losses. But they're DG, so if you're going to attack them, that would be a benefit.
Everybody, I'm now cutting out a DG marker.
You did not have a DG marker.
I know, isn't that weird? Oh, wait, did I? Oh, that's weird. I didn't. How funny. I cut out. Okay. I should go ahead and cut it. Holy cow, man. I don't think I'll be playing the whole campaign of this. I'm probably going to pick a south, north, or center.
That's funny.
I can't handle it, man.
You're doing fine.
Okay. Yeah, this is good, though. I mean, see, to me, this is like ASL in that, yeah, and people and you and Kev and probably some others have done this a lot by themselves, but there's just so many little things that, I mean, and it's fine if you don't get it, but it kind of, you know, and I've come to the comfort of I'm not going to play some of these games, ASL, whatever, with all the rules. I'm going to miss stuff all the time, but I still want to catch stuff, right? I still want to make semi-major stuff. Otherwise, it'll be like, oh, that was easy or too hard or whatever.
So here's the question now. What did that DG do you any harm on that Prince unit?
Well,
what's the effects of DG?
I can see it. Probably. They probably don't have a zone of control.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. I will say this: the rule book's not.
I got this great index.
Yeah.
5.10D.
Really? It's way wrong here. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Effects of DG. Combat barrage movement values are halved. Subtract one from their action reading. They are unable to overrun or earn exploit. DG mode units cannot use rail, air, or shipping. That doesn't say anything about zone control. Where's gun barrel?
Yeah, that's a good point. It doesn't say it. They're good.
So you know. So now the Germans, nothing they can do to him. So it looks like you have successfully taken care of Cambrai.
Yeah, I mean the best I could have done is lost. The best I could have rolled in there was out of 12 would have been a 1. So that's one step or what?
Right. You would have lost.
Oh, the 1 over 2 is not half. That is, roll 1 die on a 4/6, lose 1 step on a 2, and become DG. Otherwise, become DG only.
Right.
So it wouldn't have really. So could I have gotten? So the most I could have got, I would have needed 117 points to get rid of all 3 units or 4 units, 3 units. So that, but it's good practice.
Yeah.
The 1 to DG though, actually, well, no, yeah.
Well, I mean,
I've kind of split. I probably should have tried to bomb this one too.
Right.
Because if I could have DG'd him, although it would have been really hard because I would have only had like 4 bombing them. But if I could DG him, they probably couldn't exploit, I'm assuming.
Yeah, but I mean, so you 50% of your mission is successful right now as the French or the Allies.
Yeah. Okay. All
now
right.
you got to get the other side.
All right, let's get this combat done. Let's do this, baby.
So you're done. All your movement and all that shit's done.
Movement's done. That was, I mean, this was in the combat. But yeah, that was my reaction. So that's all that can happen there. No one can move for the Germans. Combat, Arty barrage. Barrage with Arty only.
What's the other objective we have to cut off?
So I need to move in here.
Okay.
So I got a 3-4 and a 3-2. And I technically am not allowed to look under this pile, so I'm not going to look.
All right.
So I got a 3-2 and something below it, and I got a 3-4. So this is my main attacking. So I got to do something with these guys. Let's look what I have. Right now I have 2, a 3 rating, 5. So let's just do the combat. So that's 7, 12, 17. So right now I have 17 attacking. I do have they're all 3 equivalents. And then I've got an SS with a 3-2 with a 2 action rating, so I'm 1 above it, or I could attack this 4 action rating with 3. So right now I'm attacking 5 to 1 here. Actually, more than that.
Looks to me like that SST target's more prime.
I've got a 6 to 1 attack against this one, and I got this 3-2. The only problem is I don't know what's below it.
Right. But his AR is a lot less.
Well, it's 1 less.
Oh, it's better than having freaking 1 above.
But that doesn't necessarily mean this guy's going to be the lead defense unit either, right?
No, you got to, yeah, you won't know DC.
It's a gamble, man. I love it because I can't remember what I put. This is why explain for me is not a problem. I can't remember what I put there, especially in this game. Well, so I guess what I'm getting at is, well, actually, I don't think I have any. I didn't move any already up close enough to attack it. Dunkelgelb. Turns out I probably should have moved this 3M over here to attack these guys. You know, then that way they have 2 units attacking this line and 2 units attacking this line. Uh-oh, look at that. He moved over there. I had the movement points to move over there. I did. But right now, oh, I know why I moved over here. Because if he moves over here, Jeff, I'm out of supply. I can't trace supply for combat.
What do you mean
if I'm here?
Right.
I can't trace supply for combat. Because these enemies here are...
If you move that 3rd motorized over.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
That's why I didn't do that. I didn't lay an appropriate enough of a carpet.
Well, can't you attack with only partial stack and leave 1 in place?
It wouldn't matter. I overran with this whole group here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, they're done anyhow then. So all you're going to do is you can only do combat with them.
Right. I should have moved. Okay. I couldn't. All right. Anyway. So, okay. I'll attack this stack. 4-3. So now it's 7 against 17. Oh my gosh. So it's it's 2 to 1. Ugh. All right. Well, let's do it. Surprise. Surprise. 2 to 1. Surprise. What am I doing here? Suddenly forgot. I got to go to my surprise chart. This is a regular attack. Now I need an 11 or more. No, 10 or more. Because it's an even roll. So it's not defender surprise, so there's no surprise. I really needed that surprise. 2 to 1. Open. Ooh. AL101DO1. So you said take what first? Defender first or attacker first?
The result you apply to the attacker first.
4 AL101. So the lead unit has to take the first hit or not? I keep forgetting. And then an option 1. So I can retreat or take another hit. I don't want to do that. But I'm not going to be able to do anything.
Right.
So I might as well retreat because they get victory points for defeated units. So, but here's a question. Can I retreat into his enemy zone of control? I saw that somewhere. Retreat. Page 14. This rule book lookup brought to you by Gun Barrel. Retreats. Surprise. I like surprise. I think that's a fun thing of it. The AR unit must lose the first step. Option results not taken as steps must be taken as a retreat. Retreat the number of hexes that must retreat through an enemy occupied hex or prohibited terrain. So when a combat unit retreats in a ZOC, it immediately changes to DG mode as they do any friendly combat units that just happen to be in the hex. Pardon me. In addition, if any part of the retreating stack was DG before it entered the lose one step, it cannot be negated. Okay. I need to cut out another DG marker. You're thinking, yeah, those should have been cut out before there, son. This counter clipping brought to you by Organ Laminations, your counter clipping source for clipping. Ooh, I got that one wrong. You can tell when you clip off some of the side. And then that unit's going to be DG as well. And then they don't need to retreat. And I don't remember if they lost a step or not. I think they were just DO1. Yep. So those SS guys are like, sorry, we're war criminals. It begins. Okay. Another combat. Well, so then, well, I'm not able to, I just get one victory point. So that's one victory point Germans get a victory point. Oh boy.
Yeah, there's nothing else you can do down there, is there?
Well, I can get points for defeating units, so I need to defeat another unit.
All right. Yeah, you got a couple attacks you can still do.
Oh shoot. I didn't pay for that. I didn't pay for that combat. I need to do that math again to make sure.
3T. I remember.
All right. Okay, then. We'll take it off this truck. These guys. So one battalion is, if that's all you have, that's going to be 1T. But I have 2 battalions, so 1T. 2T, 3T. So it's another 3T.
Don't you have artillery sitting right there? How come you didn't barrage with any of it?
Well, no one could reach it. I don't have any on this side. This side could, though.
Yeah, you got 3 over there, 3 hexes.
All right, well, let's wait and not do that yet then. So here's artillery. There's artillery.
Yeah, there's 18 right there. We'll do that. We'll say you did that before you started attacking.
Well, wait a minute. I didn't attack with these guys yet.
That's what I'm saying, but I mean the artillery barrage comes before the combat.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay.
Go for it. Do it anyhow. Then you get a bunch of artillery there.
Well, how much does artillery cost now? That's when I look at that.
But you've got plenty of supply. Bomb the shit out of them.
Come on, man. I mean, man, I don't. I just don't. I got 1T. I got 2 supply points. All right. So Let's look what it costs here. Barrage. So this guy here is a. So who do I want to barrage for over here? This guy or this guy? He's 10, so he's going to cost me 2T. And I don't know what advantage it is to maybe this guy. 1, 2, 3. You can see him. In SCS, artillery has to attack anyone next to them. Is that the case in OCS?
Artillery can only attack those, yeah, in SCS. No, OCS, no, because it's a larger scale, or
Smaller scale.
yeah, yeah.
So he can barrage even though there's an enemy unit next to him.
As far as I know, here we go, artillery.
Well, what I mean is in SCS he could only barrage enemy units next to him.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
Let me see. I'm looking at it right here. There's no special rule on it. Yeah, no. 10.0 for barrage rules.
Well, again, well, okay. Let's also he'll bomb there. This is 18. He'll bomb. I mean, I'm going to attack these guys. I mean, there's no point to. Gosh, these guys are ratings of 2.
Pretty cool. You can mass all that shit together.
Yeah, we got to hurry and get this done so you can go to bed.
All right. I'm still playing my freaking.
Well, yeah, see, I knew this would happen. I knew you wouldn't get much done there because.
Well, no, just that these Case Blue has some. You know, he owns the game, but man, what a pain in the ass. And I told him I would try to get something done this weekend, and he's, you know, I will say he is patient. So
that's good. Okay, what are we looking up here? Yeah, nothing.
Barrage.
Right, we're barraging. I guess, okay, so here's the question I have then about exploit. So what can these guys do in exploit? Because really all I'm trying to do now is Cambrai they're closed off. So I don't need to get into Cambrai to close it off. What I want to try to do is defeat some units so I can get some more victory points. Because right now the Germans have that victory point right now. So they are currently they have 1.5 no, they have 1 3/4 victory points to 1 victory to
All right. So do you want
1.5 victory points? So they're ahead by 1/4 of a point.
So you want to barrage something that you can potentially destroy?
Well, perhaps, but I guess I also want to know what can these exploit guys do?
They'll be able to attack,
and they'll pay for their attack.
Well, right now you can attack with them
In exploit phase.
You did an overrun. Remember, that wasn't an attack. You did an overrun with them. Which by
so they could have combated.
Yeah, but wait a minute. Let's make sure they can. We might have boo-booed on that.
I'm going to mute you, Jeff, just a second.
All right.
Okay, making graduation announcements. Had to look at them.
Take that exploitation marker off of that, Alec.
Uh-oh. Why?
You can't get exploitation markers during an overrun.
Oh, okay. So these guys would have combated then.
Right.
Oh, but barrage first, then combat.
Yeah.
So let's barrage these guys here. With a 10. Wait, I'm sorry. Am I doing that right? I'm totally like having a brain freeze here. Yeah, already barrage. Yeah, all the already barrages first. So yeah, we're going to already barrage these guys and these guys. So what do I have sitting around over here?
You got quite a good number over there.
Yep, I got a 513, a 13, and then over here I got a 5. And then here I've got another 5. So I think the 10 and the so let me look at the barrage table, what my levels are. So yeah, actually, so combining this 5 and this 10 will give me 15, which gives me some better choices over here against this guy. Okay, so barrage table, first of all, I have to pay for it. It's 3T. So can I pay from different places like this 1T and then get 2 more over here? Or do I have to pay from them all from the same source?
I was just reading that actually.
And I think what I'll do is I'll pull it from.
I don't think for artillery it matters.
Well, yeah, do they have to be?
Well, yeah, but I mean, I don't know if it matters if it's from different.
Start making my change. I feel like I'm in elementary school learning simple.
Right.
2 quarters is $50.
Barrage can never be made using internal sites. Supply for a multi-unit barrage must come from the same HQ or from the same supply dump. If no HQ, so if your HQ can pull them, it doesn't matter if they can hit an HQ.
So
from wherever.
Right. So this guy can get fed from this guy, and these guys can get fed from this guy. So I can use this one and this one.
Yeah. So they all hit the head. Well, your second motorized doesn't hit a headquarters. He's his own thing.
Do what?
Your second motorized artillery piece, he doesn't hit a headquarters. They're their own thing, I think, aren't they? They have their own. I guess no, you're right. No, that's fine. Yeah, it is. They get, as long as they can hit that headquarters up there, you're good. That little fuel marker for the motorized units throws me off all the time.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, that they're paid for. So now I'm going to roll 2 dice. Any other density shifts? Oh, well, it's actually left 1 because 1 RE or less. Stink. So it goes from 3T to 2. Oh, it goes from, doggone it, down to 8 to 11. Any other shifts? So is there a correct spotter in there? There's a unit next to him. Does this need to be a combat unit?
Yeah, that's a spotter.
Okay, I need 7 or more, baby. Come on. How about that?
Was that a miss?
Would have been a miss in my original column too. So you also have to remember who you barrage with. Okay.
Right.
All right. So now these guys would be firing 5, 18, 23, another 3T. Right here. I'm going to do this unit here. Oh, wait, 1, 2, 3. Okay, everyone can hit them. Shoot, what's a division? Wow. Should I hit him instead? Wait, how does an X? What is an X? Huh. All right.
X is a brigade.
So he's going to go again. He's going to go down to the 12 to 16 column. Anything else? He's spotted. Come on. Now I need a 6 or more. Nine. 1, 2. Come on, baby. So roll 1 die on a 4, 5, or 6. Lose 1 step. Frick. Well, they're DG'd. So that halves them. So now they're half. Come on, man. Come on, British or French. Get rid of another unit so we can have a draw here. All right, that's it for artillery now. There's no need to all artillery any of these guys. Although that's a 26. Holy cow, dude. 26 all by himself. Would that do me any good to do that? So the most I could get rid of is 1. There are 2 units in there. Although I could get rid of a unit. I mean, I have to roll really high, but I might as well do it, right?
That's right. Damn it. Roll.
3 and then get 1 of here.
You
So
don't have any choice. You have to.
well, hold on. I don't know if I can do this here. Hold on. You said I have to take it from the same supply, so I'll take it from these guys. So that's, what is it? It's 4T for that. All right. Let's see what kind of size now. Oh, well, shooting artillery allows you to look at a unit. So it's 2 battalions. So that's 1 regiment, or that's 1 regiment equivalent or less. So it's again a freaking left 1. He's an open.
Is that dog hair in that tray, or are you just pads getting defuzzy?
Oh, it's pilling on the felt.
Oh, okay.
All right. I need to roll a 12, but I could get by with. Oh, what's the 1, 2 without the? Oh, shoot.
Barrages are expensive.
Okay. I need to roll a 12. Let's just make it simple. Okay. Or 6, which does me.
Hey, Tony's back posting again. Tony Board Life.
Oh, yeah. Tony's Board Life. Yeah. Cool.
Wow.
Yeah, he's kind of back in track here. It's fun hanging out with him. Well, I didn't really hang out much with him, but it was fun hanging out with him in St. Louis here last weekend.
Oh, yeah, I thought I saw him down there. Was he sitting next to Kev the whole time?
Yeah, they played that Carthage game the whole time. All right, let's do this attack here. It's going to cost me 3T from here.
I think you're actually enjoying this right now.
No, I'm hating it. Every second of it.
Come on, it's putting that brain to work. I'm getting ready to set up freaking Gallipoli, so.
6 Gallipoli. That's not in your things you were talking about doing. 6, 5 is 11. My highest is 2. Does DG affect action rating at all?
Yeah, it's -1.
To the DG or to the action rating?
Yeah, for combat, yeah.
So they're now at a 2 instead of a 3?
You betcha.
So it's even. So for surprise, I need a 10 or more. Does that affect that attack or anything?
Yep.
No. 10 or
No,
more.
so it affects your surprise roll.
Oh, it does? How?
Yeah, and it affects your combat dice roll. DG wardrobe.
It doesn't. Okay, I'm not seeing that anywhere on the little charts here.
Okay, so if you look under, hold on, get my glasses. You are using 4.3, right?
I'm using the 4.3 charts.
Okay, but we hold on. All right, surprise table. Wrong thing.
Right now, the differential.
Action rating mods -1 unit is in DG mode.
Oh, hold on.
Right above the combat supply blue line, where it says action rating mods on the chart.
Okay.
And then in the book, it tells you about for combat.
Okay. Well, I was wrong. It's 6 to half. Okay. All right. So it's 2 to 2. So the surprise roll, I still need 10 or more on the surprise roll.
Because it's regular combat, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. Get a 6 now. Come on. You need a 6.
I do need a 6, baby.
Here comes a little
6.
6.
All right. So now go to the combat, and it's half against. I mean, I think I know what that is. That's 12. So it's 12 to 1, and I go up 6, so it's 13 to 1. Come on, baby. Any modifiers to this roll, the DG is already taken into effect by making them half.
You still get the -1 die roll modifier, though. Or +1, whatever it is. Whatever's to the attacker's benefit. So your DG applies the dice roll modifier, or it applies the -1 to the AR value. So your AR value is 0, right?
No. How is it 0? It's
But
a
then
3.
Okay. So you also apply, hold on. God darn it. It's written right here on the card somewhere.
Well, they need to put it on the combat table.
Well, it's also in the thing here under DG mode. Where's DG mode at? Flip, DG mode. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Effects. They subtract 1 from their action rating. All right, and
that.
Well, yeah, but you get a. Oh, I'm sorry. So you get a die roll modifier of the action rating difference too in combat.
Right, and there isn't one.
There's one. Okay, so it's a 0. Okay, I got you. All right.
13 to 1. I need a nice high roll. Again. Nine's not bad. It's another AE3 DL202.
All right, so now you can drop an exploit marker of AE3.
Do you get to advance after combat if they empty it out?
If you destroy the units, yeah. Oh, wait a minute. This is regular combat, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What? There's some difference?
Well, you never know. That's what I'm saying. Because I know when you're overrunning, you're actually driving into the hex. I want to say it's optional, but for regular combat. But let's find out. Let's find out. Combat resolution. Okay. Step losses. The attacker must take his blah, blah. When a combat result contains both. Okay, we know that. The attacker kills 1 step, gets to execute 2 step, blah, 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 blah. We got that. Retreats and advances. Okay. I like it. They have a rule called tag-alongs. To melee enter DG mode. Okay, units is everything change. Come on. Advance after combat. If all the defenders are destroyed or retreat, attacking units can enter the defender's hex. Only those units that paid combat supply costs, including those with a strength of 0, can advance. If the attackers, you didn't have one, advance after combat can capture or destroy enemy ships, aircraft, and non-combatant units. Advance after combat is required after a successful overrun, but not after regular combat. That's what I was looking for.
Okay. I think I might have a cool thing happen here, but let's. All right, so I think that's it for combat. And now it's exploitation.
You're not going to attack that DG unit sitting up there in the middle of the map?
No, because it's the 3 rate. I mean, I can attack it with 5. I'm attacking across a river. No.
You got no balls. Come on.
I get what?
Nothing. No, that's it. It's all about victory points. Remember, you can't.
Oh, well, okay. Hold on. So are they halved across the river, even if there are guys on this opposite side of the river?
Are you in a city?
Huh?
I think it's individual units.
Okay, so this 3, I'm assuming it's halved. I mean, look.
I don't have
Yeah, you're right. You're right, man. Because right now we're tied, so I need to get this. But I have this exploit unit because maybe do something too.
Try to get as much as you can.
Right. Gosh, if anything, it's good if I play with you guys watching. You make me more aggressive.
Yeah, look what happened to Rostov.
All right. So minor river, halved. Okay. Pardon me. So 1.5, 5, so 6.5. 8.5. Bless me. 8.5, 12.5. So these guys are all over the place. Are they going to pull from? How do they do the supply for that?
Let's find out. Let's go to the book, Todd. Let's refer to the book.
All right. So while you're doing that, I make sure I got my math right. So 5, 6.5, 7, 8.5, 12.5. All right. So we're sitting at 12.5. So everybody, it's important to remember the fractions because you'd use that. You keep it in fractions even when you do the math.
Let's see.
Because this could be more expensive if they're all over the place.
Both players expend the required SP. Note if the defenders cannot. Right. Supply and combat. Units cannot attack at all without combat supply. Units without combat internal stocks can only be used when regular supply is physically not able. Doesn't say it. No, I mean I wouldn't see how you would that would be. I can understand artillery, but I don't see anything here that says it.
All right, well, combat supply.
It's a pretty small section. I will say this, at least when you read the rules for the most part of this thing, they're clear when you can find the rule. The only one that, took me a little while to comprehend trace supply.
It's 1 T per attacking step. So I just need to just count them up here. So he's going to cost that 1 T.
So count up, what do you got? How many battalions, how many regiments?
We got 1, 2, 3 battalions and an XX.
All right, and that's a 2-step unit. So the 2-stepper is going to be 2T, and the 3 battalions are going to be 2T.
All right, well.
So 2 battalions cost you 1T. The one solo battalion
Cost me 1T.
He costs you 1T. And your 10-3 is a 2-step unit. He costs you 2T.
So that's 3T.
Yep.
Okay.
See, that's where I kept screwing up when I first started playing. That 2-step unit, I was taking away 2 complete supply points.
It's all T's.
Yeah.
All right, so it's 12.5 against 1.5. So 2. Ooh, action rating of 5.
Yeah, reduced by 1 because he's DG'd.
Yeah, so what did I say? An attack of 2 or a defensive 2. And what's my highest action rating here? 3, 3, 3, and 4. Oh, tied. Nice. So surprise.
Must be British first armor.
12, baby.
Oh, smoking. Now you really need a 6.
Well, yeah, right now I'm at a...
Something to bet next time you wouldn't spread these German units out like this.
3.125. So right now I'm 3-1. Come on, man. Ah! 4-1. That's fine. Here we go.
All right, I'm looking.
And that DG does not do anything else. We're done. So
9. Hey, AO1, DO1. Uh-oh. So here's your options. If you want to maintain that ground and force him to take a loss or a retreat, you have to take a step loss as the attacker.
well, it has to be for my lead unit.
This is what I was talking about earlier.
Yeah. So would all of these guys all spread out have to retreat 1?
Yeah, if you choose option, then you all have to retreat 1.
Shoo, man, I'm losing a pretty good unit here.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
if
that
you
sucks. That's another point to the Germans. Another
well, you don't have, okay, so yeah, so you take a step loss, and now the Germans either have to retreat
well, they have to lose 1.
or they no, it's an O1.
DLO. It's DL101.
Huh? A 9 on 4-1? Oh, I'm looking at the 4-1 was in the open.
Yeah.
Oh, I was. Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking. Yeah, yeah. So they got to lose 1, and they got to execute their option because you held your ground. So they can either retreat, which it looks to me like they can. See, that's another thing. Enemy zones of control and retreat doesn't negate that. Let's go to the book, Bob. That's what we didn't read. But at least now we know where to look.
Yeah, I really needed that not to happen because my whole point was to.
A retreat cannot go through a hex that contained an enemy. Oh, I think the first hex when you retreat doesn't matter. So see. Enemy zones of control. When a combat unit retreats into a zone of control, it immediately changes to DG mode, as do any friendly combat units that just happen to be in that hex. In addition, if any part of the retreating stack was DG before it entered the enemy zone of control, you lose 1 step from the stack, owning player's choice from the monk. This zone of control effect cannot be negated by friendly combat units.
Well, they lose a step, then they're dead.
Yeah, so he's going to retreat. Yeah, so you wouldn't want to DG the 7th Panzer as the Germans, so you would retreat him to the right, bottom right, and then he's going to lose a step.
Boom. There you go. Allies are in the lead.
Wow. Wow.
And then they can occupy that hex.
You betcha. With as much force as you want.
Oh, crap. This 10-3 had a 1 step loss on it.
It doesn't matter. He doesn't. Oh, yeah, when it's 50%. Or is it more than 50%?
No, it's 50%.
All right. So that would have dropped him down 5. He was trying to cross the river. He was half.
So it would have been 2.5. So it would have been 7. It would have been 9.5.
To 2. Which is what? That's still 5-1, isn't it? Yeah, it's still 5-1.
Why was my...
You were off 1 column.
I was off a column. Hold on.
So you rolled a 9 at 5-1. It was an A01 E4. So you did the attacker properly. Defense loses. It doesn't matter. Same result. You just got it would have been an option 2, but you didn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah. So now you put an exploit 4. So on your armor units that attack, they get an well, I won't do them no good because they're both 3s. What was and you took the loss off the big dog. So.
And I can advance and occupy that space if I want.
Yep.
Okay. Then my last thing to do here. So that's good. Now the allies are in the lead.
Hold on now. Think about that armor you got sitting there that you didn't move into that hex. Because you still got an exploit phase coming up.
Right.
But if you've already won, if the allies were already in the lead, why not just end the turn?
Because I could, yeah, because I could lose a unit, right? All right. Well, let's do exploit just to learn it.
Okay.
So I got one unit that has an exploit number. It's a 3, and no one can do it actually. So forget it. Because it's a 2. They're all 2s.
Those 2 armor units up there behind your infantry that just attacked, they have exploit capability. Oh, no, they wouldn't. That was a 84. They're only 3 ARs, so they can't do anything. Yeah.
Okay.
You don't have any. So an exploit, okay, so an exploit would be the same as regular movement, only you get half movement allowance, and you can do overruns. Or you
Yeah, so my thinking was, is there exploit 2?
Yeah, you have regular, then you have 2, 3, and 4.
All right, well, let's say these were 2s instead of 3s. So the allies won. I'll talk about that. So my thought is I could still try to get this other victory point.
Right.
Because if these, so let's say it was an exploit 2. These guys are 2s, and there's a unit here, and it is a 3, is also a 2. So it's a 6 against a 3. So it's only 2 to 1.
And what's the AR?
They're both 2s.
Okay.
So roll for surprise.
Burn the supplies. Yeah. And then roll for surprise.
Oh, wait, hold on. You know what? The Germans didn't pay for. Well, here's a question I have for you. This guy here.
That's, yeah. 2,
the
2.
German.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
How would he have paid for his defense?
Well, he would have had to. Well, can he reach supply? Yeah, he can reach supply.
So this guy negates this.
Yep. And then if you go down through the SST.
So yeah,
to the supply source. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So he could have got it. So that would have taken a T, right?
Yeah.
Is it 1 T to defend?
Yeah. He was 2 half steps, right?
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Well, first of all, these guys have to pay for this. They can.
Right.
So they're 3. So it's a 2 T.
Right.
Sorry, I just want to keep doing this and practicing.
That's fine. I was going to go to bed till a little after midnight anyhow.
Was it 11 o'clock?
Sorry. I didn't do nothing this weekend. All it did was rain. I didn't get to play golf or anything.
I don't know where this guy was. He was there. So these guys pay for theirs. These guys can pay for their defense. That's 1 T. So that's another T gone. Man.
Overrun.
You cannot have shaky hands playing this game.
So their movement allowance is 4.5, and they would need 3, so they're good on that. Exploitation mode units move using half of their movement allowance, but their combat and barrage ratings are normal.
So they're 10. So you're saying, I'm sorry, how much movement did they get then? 5?
Yeah, so half their movement, right?
So to move into that hex is 3, so they have plenty.
Right.
All right. So everyone's paid for their combat. Surprise roll, overrun. There's no modifier.
So 9 or more.
I need 9 or more. Come on, buddy. 8. So at least no one gets surprised, so that's good. This is gonna be bad though. 2 to 1.
Yeah, that kind of sucks.
So I need
2 to 1 the open. That's not too bad.
how high do I need to get something? I need to roll 8 or higher.
Well, yeah.
Because I don't want to. I can't take a loss.
Right, but they'll be able to retreat.
Oh, that.
If
Well,
you don't, if you take a step loss and they get
if I take a step loss, then it's a tie game.
Okay.
So
Ooh.
8 or more.
Oh, no. Oh, my
L101. So it would be attackers would lose 1. Then they
And-
would have the option to retreat,
or take another loss.
or so they wouldn't anyway. So they wouldn't take a loss; they'd retreat in this case. But I wouldn't have done that attack because I couldn't because they had to retreat. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so and they would have took another step loss for retreating to his own control.
Not negated. Yep. Who? Yeah, that would have been a bad one, dude.
Yeah, that would have forfeited your victory. Game over, man. Game over.
They would have forfeited the victory and given it to the Germans.
Yeah. It would have been a little scenario, man. You could play that in multiple paths by how you set the Germans up. Now, were the Allies, were they set up like within so many hexes of something, or did they have mandatory hexes to start in? Or was it sort of you could deploy?
They were all set up where they're set up.
And the Germans were you just
Most of them were within 2 hexes. Well, that's not true. 3219. So these guys were within 2 hexes.
Okay, so if you were going to set this up again as the Germans, what's the one setup thing you would probably do to now thinking of helping the Germans? What's the one thing you would probably do different? Knowing that they don't actually have a turn.
Well, I mean, in this case,
Well, what's the only thing they have that can allow them to attack since they don't get a turn?
they're airplanes.
Well, they reaction movement. So you put somebody in reserve.
What? I don't think I can do that.
Oh, didn't give you any options at all?
They must
Did
have.
they even say they had any reserve markers?
Oh, what?
Did the rules say they had any reserve markers?
Ah, doggone it.
Did they have something?
Both sides had reserve markers.
Yeah, so I would have, that would have been the difference. I'd have probably stuck, a couple of strike forces
Shoot.
in reserve status. It's something to think about. This wasn't too bad. I guarantee you that if you did this again, you'll blow through it in 2 hours.
So you would have used these reserve markers where?
So I would have put a stack of Panzer units, strong units behind the front line, like so it would be half their movement allowance. So where they could strike Allied units that were attacking.
Okay.
Just to sort of maybe stunt their attack before they can get anything going. So, so you were able to attack all the way down there with the second mech and the third mech. I'd have probably had a unit sitting somewhere about where they are now, or maybe in the middle of where they are now that could have struck it as a reaction force from behind the lines. So you had your little stretched out line as best you could, and then have a couple of stacks of reserve units behind that line so they could strike. Because they probably could have stopped that third motorized.
Okay, so exploitation, they can do everything. Movement, barrage, combat.
Yeah.
I mean, I still think spreading out. I mean, I agree with you. Yeah. So make a little stack of some heavy. So I could.
Yeah.
So I could, because I still think I got to spread out. Otherwise, these guys are just going to move in here. And
yeah, I was saying you would have to do it minimally, but you'd have to do something to have a reaction because they don't have any ability to attack. And the only way they're going to do it defensively is if you stack them together and have better numbers.
But you can also barrage, which is interesting.
Yeah, but they also have to be in reserve to use that barrage during the reaction phase because they don't get anything.
I mean, I got a lot of SP over here I didn't use for the Germans,
Yeah, I don't know. So maybe you put some backline artillery units in a reserve posture. What's the range on that artillery unit under that stack you just had? 3? 3. So you could have put him a hex or 2 behind the front line in a reserve status.
Yeah, he could have barraged these guys that attacked here.
Yeah, he might have fucked them up before they even got a chance to execute.
Well, no, because exploitation happens after combat.
I F-bomb. Sorry. Make sure you mute that.
That's all right.
Edit that out.
Exploitation, though, happens after combat.
Right, but reaction happens before combat.
No. Oh, reaction. Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking exploitation. Okay. So a reaction, they don't get to combat. They can only overrun.
Now, release reserve units, which can then move and can overrun. They can spend fuel, blow dumps. Air units can perform missions. Hip shoots. Well, yeah, exploitation cannot be. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no, that's if you release the reserves on the other side. Okay. All right. So, yeah, so you would have had to put combat units that could overrun.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So artillery was that would have been on the offensive side, putting them in reserve.
It says conduct barrages with air units, naval units, or released ground units.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. So, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah. So your reaction phase covers movement and barrage. So, yeah, you could have done the artillery and pulled them out of reserve and barraged in the barrage part of the reaction phase.
But they have to be stacked with that. I mean, since I only have two, they'd have to be stacked. I could stack them with tanks. The tanks could move and do things, and then they could barrage with that.
Well, how many reserve markers did it say you had available?
2.
All right, yeah. So you wouldn't have had much. That, or you would have had 2 artillery stacked somewhere. Looks to me like you only got 1 artillery unit.
Here, and there's one over here too. A 4.
A 4. Yeah. So that was useless. So yeah, you're right. You would have had to have gotten as much as you could into a. Well, I mean, that 6th Panzer and those SST units, you had them way in the back. I mean, you could have certainly stretched. What's underneath that in front of that group there where the 7th Panzer guys are? Are those multiple units? Yeah, so you could have spread them as your frontline screen.
If you put a reserve on 7th Panzer, does everyone in 7th Panzer get to reserve or just a stack?
Got to be in the same hex.
And I assume they can't flip over to combat mode?
They can be in whatever mode you want.
Well, they start the turn and move.
Oh, then yeah, you wouldn't have a choice. Well, no. Let's see. That's a good question. It's considered movement, and you can change.
Half their MA, you flip them over to combat mode, they're not going to move much at all.
Yeah.
But if you could flip them, I mean, that ups your.
Well, okay. So if I remember right, this was, and I can only take the Rommel case. Isn't this around that environment where Rommel was out in front? He literally had to turn around. He got in a tank, and I remember reading a story in somewhere where he had to turn around and go back down the roads they just come up to find where the supply train or the supply vehicles and the infantry that were following.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Eris. I've only heard that it was in a counterattack. So
yeah, it's where the Allies tried to pinch, and they epically failed. So,
not in my case, bro. I epically won by a quarter of a victory point.
You freaking rocked it, dude. Your French tanks with the bomb.
The French even had a couple reserves too.
Yeah.
Or the Allies.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know what I would have done differently with them. I mean,
well, I can tell you right now, Joey Saban on the first turn, he executed his against me. He put 3 Panzer divisions in reserve in mobile mode, in move mode, and he moved them 25% because he knew he couldn't reach anything and overrun it. And then knowing that I couldn't do anything, I couldn't react or anything, he went into his exploitation phase and overran the entire village. So
interesting. Hey, I'm gonna shut off the broadcast here, but Jeff, you can stay on for just a second. So, hey, everybody, I still not sure. I think I'll release this, and I'll talk to Jeff about it afterwards. And if you see it, then our conversation said let's release it, and if not, then we didn't. But if we do, thanks for watching, everybody. Jeff, thanks for coming on with me and helping me through that half a turn in 2 hours and 45 minutes. But it was fun. It was enjoyable, and I liked it. You know, there's just a lot the more I could, if I play this scenario a couple more times, it'll kind of solidify some of that info. And I appreciate it taking time away from your PBM. Sorry, Joey. And thank you everybody for watching. And
if you see this and we boo-boo, let us know so we can correct it.
Oh yes, please. Definitely. This is I mean, Jeff's got a lot of games under his belt, but it's a deep game. So let us know, please. Cause I appreciate you, Jeff, working me through that. Thanks everybody. Keep rolling dice and we'll talk to you later. See ya.